Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with a quick review of the Orei UHD-FO10-K HDMI extension kit. This product allows you to very easily share HDMI media content from one location with a secondary remote location up to 10 kilometers away over a single fiber optic cable. The product fully supports 4K ultra high definition media content and is both HDMI 2.0B as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant, which means it works with a wide range of media devices. The unit also provides local loopback functionality at the primary site, which allows you to enjoy the content here while you're simultaneously sharing it with the remote location. The kit even includes a set of infrared blasters that will collect up the remote control signals from that secondary location and send those back over the same fiber cable to the primary location where they're rebroadcast so you can remotely control the content you're watching. You can even pass RS-232 control signals between the two locations. And finally, the product provides audio embedding capabilities that allow you to inject audio at the primary side and then play that audio on a home stereo or a soundbar at the remote location. Now, as part of this review, I always like to start with a quick unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and then I'll take a closer look at the transmitter and receiver modules, explain the connections and indicators so you understand how to use this product, and then I'll come back and point out a few things that really separate this particular HDMI extension kit from other products you may be considering. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first open up the box, you'll find a transmitter module and a receiver module. You'll find two 5-volt DC 1 amp power supplies. You can plug this end into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a barrel connection on it with a locking collar. You'll simply plug that into the back of the receiver and plug the other one into the back of the transmitter. You'll find two infrared blaster kits. Again, those are responsible for picking up the remote control signals and sending them along to the primary site. You'll find two RS-232 connection blocks, a warranty card, and a full instruction manual is also included that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and other really important details you'll need to understand about the kit to use it correctly. So always read through that manual to make sure you get the best value out of the product. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at the transmitter and receiver modules and explain the connections, and then I'll come back and point out a few things that really separate this particular HDMI extension kit from other products you may be considering. The kit includes both a transmitter module and a receiver module, and both of these feature full metal enclosures which make them incredibly durable and help to minimize outside interference from causing any issues with the electronics inside. Let's start with the transmitter module. On the front of the product, starting on the left, you'll find a power LED. The minute you add power to the module, it immediately starts an internal power on self-test where it's checking the electronics. Once it passes that test, the power LED will come on, letting you know the module is ready to use. To the right of that is a fiber indicator. When you make the optical connection between the transmitter and the receiver module, that connection is checked. Once it passes that test, the fiber LED will come on, letting you know you have a solid connection. To the right of that are two HDMI LEDs labeled input and loop. The input indicator will come on when you make a connection between here and the media device that you'd like to share the content from with your remote location. Again, that connection is checked. Once it's been verified, the input LED will come on. The transmitter also provides local loopback functionality, which allows you to enjoy the content here that you're simultaneously sharing with a secondary location. And to enable that, you'll simply plug a monitor into a connection I'll show you in a minute in the back so you can enjoy that content. That connection is checked, and once it's been verified, the loop LED will come on. So under normal operation, power, fiber, and input should be lit, and if you're using local loopback, the loop indicator will come on as well. To the right of that are two infrared blaster ports labeled IR in and IR out. In the case of the transmitter, you'll use the smaller module and plug it into the infrared out port. To the right of that is an audio selection switch. The transmitter allows you to send audio to the remote location through a connection on the back I'll show you in a minute, and you can decide whether you're going to strip the audio from the HDMI media stream or you're going to use the line input, so you can set that switch according to your needs, and that's explained in the manual. To the right of that are two EDID switches. You can adjust the frame rate and resolution of your media content versus your displays by using those switches. Again, that's fully explained in the manual. Finally, to the right of that is a service port. That's a 3.5mm port that's used for updating the firmware. If new versions of firmware come out later on, you can connect this up to your computer, move the firmware file to the module to complete that upgrade. On either side, you'll find wings with mounting holes on them, and these are used to mount this module up off the ground and out of the way if you choose to do that. On the rear of the modules where you make all your connections, starting on the left is a DC input port. You'll plug the power supply into the wall. The other end of that power supply cable has a barrel connection on it, which plugs in right there with a tightening collar. To the right of that is a fiber connection. That's where one end of the fiber optic cable plugs into the transmitter module. The other end plugs into the receiver. To the right of that are two full-size HDMI ports labeled HDMI out and HDMI in. The HDMI in port connects to your media device that you'd like to share the content from with your secondary location. If you'd like to use the HDMI output port to enable loop out, you'll plug a monitor in here to enjoy the content at the primary location that you're sharing with that secondary location. To the right of that is a line input, and that's where you can inject audio, analog left and right audio, that can be sent to the secondary location. You also have the choice of using the HDMI input and stripping the audio from that, and you can make that selection between these two using that switch on the front. To the right of that is an RS-232 connection. This product can also send RS-232 signals to the secondary location, and that's where you'll make the connection for that. The receiver module is very similar. Starting on the left on the front of the unit, you'll find a power indicator. Again, if you plug a power supply in at the remote location, the minute you connect it up to the receiver, it'll start an internal power on self-test, and when it passes that test, it'll light that power LED, letting you know the module's ready to use. To the right of that is a fiber LED. When you make the optical connection between the receiver and the transmitter module, that connection is checked. Once it's been verified, the fiber LED will come on, letting you know you have a good connection. To the right of that is an HDMI indicator. When you connect the receiver up to a local monitor that you'd like to use to enjoy the content, that connection is checked. Once it's been verified, the HDMI LED will come on. So under normal operation, all three of these should be on. To the right of that are two infrared blaster ports labeled IR in and IR out. In the case of the receiver, you'll use the larger of the two modules and plug that into the infrared in port, because that module will pick up the remote control signals at the location and send those back over that same fiber cable to the primary location so you can control the content you're watching. To the right of that is a service port. Again, that's used for updating firmware on the receiver. On either side, you'll find mounting flanges you can use to mount this module up off the ground and out of the way. On the rear of the module, you'll find all the connections you'll need to make at that secondary location. Starting on the left is a DC input port. You can plug the second power supply into any standard wall outlet. Again, the other end of that cable has a barrel connection on it, which plugs in right there. Just tighten the collar so it doesn't pop out. To the right of that is the other fiber connection. That's the other end of the fiber cable will plug in right there. To the right of that is a full-size HDMI port labeled HDMI out, and that's where you'll connect the monitor up at that secondary location to enjoy the content. To the right of that is an analog audio output port. Again, these two modules can send audio between the modules, or you can strip it from the HDMI. This is the output port that you'll connect to a local stereo or soundbar so you'll get better quality audio. And it's a left and right 3.5mm connection, standard analog connection. Finally, to the right of that is the RS-232 connection block. As I mentioned, the two modules can transfer RS-232 control signals between them, and that's where you'll make the connections on the secondary site. That's pretty much it for the two modules. I hope that closer look was helpful. Now here are a few really important things to keep in mind when you're comparing the Orei UHD-FO10-K HDMI extension kit with other products you may be considering. The first thing has to do with the distance that any product supports between the primary and secondary locations, because most HDMI extension kits in the market that use a wireless connection or a LAN connection or even a coaxial connection limit that distance to a few hundred feet. Because this kit uses a fiber optic cable, you can separate the primary from the secondary location up to 10 kilometers, which gives you a lot of flexibility of where you can enjoy that content. Another key difference is that this product fully supports 4K ultra high definition media content, whereas a lot of other kits on the market may support 4K but only 30 frames a second, or they may only support 1080p content, which means you're not going to get the highest resolution possible at that secondary location. Knowing your kit can support 4K at 60 frames a second means you're going to have a crystal clear picture at your second location. Another key difference is the fact that this kit provides local loopback functionality, which allows you to enjoy the content at the primary location while you're simultaneously sharing it with the secondary location. Other kits on the market that don't provide local loopback really force you to watch the content here or watch the content here, but you can't enjoy it at both locations at the same time. So knowing you've got local loopback means you can continue to enjoy the content in your den while you're sharing it with an upstairs bedroom. Another big difference is the inclusion of the infrared blaster kits, which allow you to remotely control the content you're watching. If you don't have an infrared blaster kit with the solution you're considering, you'll have to start the media content and then run to the secondary location and watch that content from start to finish. Because the infrared blasters are included, this gives you control to start, stop, fast forward, rewind the content, and you can do what you need to enjoy the content at your pace. And one final feature that's really nice about this unit is it provides audio embedding, which means you can actually inject audio here and then use that secondary location, extract the audio, and pass that along to a soundbar or home stereo for better quality audio. So it gives you a lot of flexibility on the quality of audio you can enjoy at the secondary location. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and it's a very simple product to install. So hopefully you found this review helpful. I like this product an awful lot. It gives me a lot of flexibility of where I can locate my media content that I'd like to enjoy from the primary site, and it just works right out of the box. So thanks an awful lot for watching, and until next time, as always, stay nerdy.